Hey guys, I'm a Forester here. Well, we're back from Costa Rica, we're back home, and I hope that you enjoyed the one video that I brought you last weekend about our trip. I didn't take a whole lot of videos, but I wanted to make a second video about a day that we spent walking around in downtown San Jose. We ran into some interesting things. Communication wasn't a big problem, but there were two short videos that I took that I didn't understand what was going on, so I'm going to put those on for you. Tell me what you think is going on. Some I can partly explain, some I can't. So this will be a quick video and I'll get right to it. Now you might wonder why I'm sitting on this log in my backyard. I'll show you, I'll turn the camera around and show you at the end of this video. Now the first video that I want to show you is something that we ran into after touring the Central Market. So we went from the Central Market to Central Park. We toured a Catholic church there at the Central Park and then walked down to the National Museum and then walked around from there. But when we left the Central Market area, there were a lot of people on the street and there were some people congregated around this filming crew. It involved a man that had volunteered from the audience and they went and placed a chicken on his head. Watch this video clip. Tell me and comment below what you think is going on. I'll try to explain it.
Supongo que tiene más de 15, entonces voy a partir de ahí. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Tiene 21 años. Esa ciudad, excelente. Está usted en total comunicación con las ciudades. ¿Te lo puede llevar?
Okay, what do you think was going on in that video? I watched the people's expressions. I knew the narrator or the MC was counting down or counting up, and so I could tell that. I didn't know what it had to do. Later on, it was explained to me that the chicken was predicting the man's age. So as the man counted up, the chicken made a motion at one time, looked to the side. I don't know if it clucked or not, but it at least looked to the side, and that told the MC that the man, I think, was 21 years old. I believe I have that right. So I went back and looked. I thought, well, surely there's a tell. Somebody is giving the chicken a high sign, or maybe the man is just a good age guesser, but how he got the chicken to look right at 21, I don't know. But that was the correct age. So I thought that was interesting, and it was being filmed, so I guess that was going to go on television down in San Jose. Now, the second video will be of interest to you knife lovers, those that follow my channel and are into knives, because as we were walking toward the National Museum, there was this man on the side of the street sharpening knives. They all looked like kitchen knives to me. They weren't high quality knives. I wasn't carrying a knife, but I wasn't about to let him touch it if I had been carrying one. So take a look at this clip. Tell me what you think about his knife sharpening skills. All right, I thought that was interesting. I asked him if I could take his video and he agreed. And so hopefully it'll serve as some publicity to him. The question that I had is, why was this man sitting on the street? And where did the knives come from? I mean, do people walk down the street with their kitchen knives? Maybe if that's his designated place to sit and work, maybe they know then to come and that's where they'll find him. That's the only thing I could figure out. Unless, you know, it was just publicity, his form of advertising, and when people stopped, maybe he told them where his shop was. I don't know. He looked like a street knife sharpener to me. And I only saw one stone, the one that he was using to grind with. And so I think I'm going to stick to my wicked edge. Now, the third video is of a political rally or demonstration of sorts that I ran into at their National Legislative Building. And it was right across the street from the National Museum. I couldn't tell a lot of what was going on. There was a medium-sized crowd. You can't see most of them because they're on up the hill, but I couldn't tell what it had to do. Watch this video and then I'll tell you what I did find out.
Para apelar, por las razones que sean, por un error administrativo nuevamente, porque eso fue lo que se adujo la vez pasada, y aunque no es exactamente lo mismo, casualmente es muy parecido el tema. Y vuelvo y repito, no es un tema menor, no es un tema ligero, es un tema que ha afectado a los costarricenses y que le ha restado credibilidad a los políticos, señor presidente, trabajo que hemos nosotros tratado de mejorar en este año y resto que llevamos en este Congreso. No.
All right, if you understand Spanish, maybe you can tell me in the comments below what that was about. What I did is, after filming it a short while, I walked up the hill and there was a line of policemen there to keep order. I asked, did anybody speak English? And one person pointed to a man down the row. Well, I went down to that man and he looked like he was guilty, but he refused to talk to me, to speak any English. He acted like he didn't know English, even though he had been singled out. Finally, somebody came from in back, a police officer, and he volunteered to tell me what was going on. But to be honest, he struggled and struggled to find the right words to explain what was going on with this demonstration. And so I listened and I picked up enough words to where it reminded me of the illegal immigrant situation here in the U.S. with Mexican workers coming in illegally. And I said, illegal immigrants? And he smiled and said, yes, yes. So I had a feeling that's what it was about. Someone later said it had to do with, I think, Nicaraguans coming in and taking jobs. And then later on, someone pointed out that the flags that were flying, some of the flags, were tied to the teachers, public teachers' labor unions, and that there was an issue going on then. So I really don't know what the rally was about. If you speak Spanish and can listen, or if you have personal knowledge, comment below what that rally was about. Now, I'm going to post just some snapshots to end this video, and then I'll turn the camera around and show you why I'm sitting on this log. But outside of the National Museum, there was a street where graffiti was permitted, and it was the highest quality graffiti I've ever seen. And so I'll give you an example. You can look at the thumbnail for that whole street scene, and I'll give you an example of the high quality graffiti that was on the walls of that street. Inside the museum, there were a lot of different exhibits. Two caught my attention. One is this picture that I'll show you right now. Now, I have never understood ear gauging. I don't understand it now, and I sure don't understand why they did it back then. I think it's just an effort to get attention, but that's just to prove that there's nothing new under the sun. They did it back then, and they do it now. Now, you probably heard of the stone spheres of Costa Rica. I don't know if they've been found anywhere else, but that's the only place that I've really heard about them, and they were featured in the National Museum. So I'll show you a shot of those stone spheres, or at least the exhibit, right now. Now, they don't really know for sure why these spheres were made or how they were used, but one theory that they expressed was that they led the way, they marked the road to the tribal chief's residence. So maybe that was it. Nobody really knows for sure. I did want to say that the big sphere on the wall is the diameter of the largest sphere ever located. Okay, it's time for me to turn the camera around, and I'll show you why I'm sitting on this log. When we got home from Costa Rica, we were greeted by this tree that had been uprooted in our yard. I'll turn the camera around and show you the damage that it did. This was a large tree, probably the largest tree in our yard at this point. So it hit the roof of the house, actually punched a hole in the roof. I've cleaned up the part that was on the roof, and it crushed our AC unit. Now the AC unit has been repaired. It was repaired yesterday. It also punched a hole, I think, in the septic tank, and this root ball uprooted our drain field. And so I've got to replace about 5 tiles in the drain field. Other damage that it did, I don't know. I'm going to have to clean this mess up and then see if it cracked the wall of our courtyard. I think it did some damage. There are limbs on the courtyard or in the on the deck, and see what all damage it did. One thing I am learning is that it's easy to get in touch with your insurance agent. They'll get in touch with you when they want your money, but when you want their money, or what's actually your money, it is almost impossible to get in touch with them. I found that to be very aggravating. But anyway, comment below on some of the things I showed you in the video. I'm going to wrap this up, upload it, and then get to work on this tree. Y'all take care.